I think a lot of people like being squashed.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Classic.
He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
No more hangers!
You thought you'd become a prostitute or a drug addict?
I used to love Doggy Chow. I used to love Doggy Chow too.
Oh, hi! I'm a cautionary tale about steroid abuse. Crystal.
And my name is Baby Lame. Yeah, I don't have a line. Don't fucking come for me. It's really difficult, okay? The pressure of delivering a funny line that Crystal hasn't already stolen from me has finally got to me. So I'm not going to have a stupid line. I'm just going to say what my name is, everyone. Baby Lame.
I would have chosen for you a blocked toilet that Kristen Stewart is elbow deep in.
Thank you. Maybe I should just get you to write them for me, because that's a great one. There was a lot in that scene that I could really relate to.
Welcome to Camp Classics, a thoughtful podcast about stupid movies.
You right now?
This week we are joined by special returning guest, journalist and podcaster, it's Chal Ravens.
Hello.
Welcome back.
I think I'm maybe the Ed Harris loving his tank of beetles, nurturing the lava.
I myself am strange and unusual.
Every 2 weeks, Baby and I are here with a special guest where we will be discussing, exploring, and rating some of the peaks and valleys in the genre of camp, in the search for the campus of camp classics.
You right now?
What movie would you like us to cover next? Well, go follow us on Instagram at Camp Classics Podcast and send us a message with your suggestions.
Have we been getting any suggestions?
Yeah, Amy recently suggested we cover Xanadu, which I've actually never seen.
I don't think I've ever seen that all the way through either.
Yeah, I think it's not a bad shout.
Oh, thanks, Amy.
Thanks,
you.
Amy. It's on the list. Actually, I'm just checking. Is it on the list?
I don't think it is on the list. Fucking
It's
hell,
now on the list.
Crystal has some interesting things that she keeps on adding onto the list that I'm like, wow, we're going to go there, are we?
What was the last one?
American Psycho, which is not something I would deem a camp classic, but hey,
Well,
I'm willing to give it a go.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I could tell.
I assume it's camp because he's like basically a gay man who's obsessed with like
I mean,
his body.
I think lots of these films that we cover, you can get to, but that really feels like a bonus edition episode in Series 8 to me.
Fine,
it doesn't feel
fine.
like something we should be hitting hard with.
Got it. I'm basically just looking for excuses to watch some movies that I haven't had a chance to get to, so.
Fair enough.
Two birds, one stone. Speaking of bonus episodes, though, we do have a Gatreon where we release a bonus episode every month. Out now, our bonus episode covering Lindsay Lohan's 2007 flop, I Know Who Killed Me.
And I think this has potential to be elevated from a bonus episode. It's that good. So listen to it now.
Yeah, if you're not familiar, Lindsay Lohan plays a stripper with a robot hand investigating her own murder. So really, if that doesn't sell it to you, I don't know what will. But thank you so much to everyone who's subscribed to the Gatreon. Making the show is just a real labor of love. So if you're enjoying listening to it, well, why don't you subscribe and then we can keep making more episodes.
Help me, I'm poor.
On to this week's movie. We are covering our most recent movie yet.
Yeah, I think so. It wasn't made in 1999, was it? So
Groundbreaking.
We're covering 2024's Love Lies Bleeding. Who saw this in the cinema?
Right there, Crystal, dear. You
no,
okay, darling?
I'm not.
What's going on? Anything you want to share with the listeners? You're struggling a bit, aren't you?
Oh, help.
You're having a hard time. It's okay. It's all right. You're in a safe space now.
We're recording this on January 3rd. I think we're all having a slightly hard time.
Did you have a brain tumor for breakfast?
I know. Actually, one of the other films we were watching, I was wondering, am I responding to this more emotionally simply because of the New Year's Day that I had? So.
Yeah.
Love Life Bleeding. I saw this in the cinema. Yeah. Big, really excited about this. I remember seeing the trailer. I'm sort of a bit of a fan of anything that A24 puts out anyway. And I saw the trailer for this and I was like, oh, yeah, a bit of me. Sign me up. Went to the cinema straight away.
Yeah, I also saw it, I think, the week it came out. Was very keen.
Cool. I somehow missed the preamble for it. And then I remember people going to the cinema and being like, I saw this amazing movie. And I didn't get around to watching it until I was on a plane last week and preparing for this episode. But yeah, I'm so glad to have seen it. If you haven't watched it, it's available for free on Amazon Prime if you have a Prime subscription. So,
which means it's not free then, does it?
Well, if you already give Bezos your money, you can stream it now for free. And if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it because...
Are we sponsored by Amazon Prime? Is this your way of low-key putting in a sponsorship deal? There are many other great movies you could watch that are on Amazon Prime too now.
I just don't have enough faith in our audience that they're not all Prime subscribers. So. We know you are. Just go watch it. It's included, and then you can listen to this episode and not get any spoilers. How about reviews and box office? So...
Do you want to know what a camp classic is first? Or...
Oh, yeah, I sure do.
Are you sure you want to know?
Yeah, I do. Please tell me, please.
Show me to me, please.
Please, baby, what is a camp classic?
Oh, thank you for asking so politely, Crystal. God, I'm on one today. I'm so sorry, you two. So, a camp classic is something that unlocks queer joy. It has an ongoing legacy. It can be, and is encouraged to be, a little bit stupid. It informs queer pop culture, and ideally would be anti-mainstream or have an underdog flap vibe. Flap vibe? It would have an underdog flap vibe. Okay, so...
Well, this movie's going to pass the flap test.
Lesbian.
The flap test is a new thing that we're introducing in the year 2025. Does it have an underdog flap vibe?
You're a lesbian.
Let's get into this movie. So, in terms of box office, I couldn't actually find the budget for this movie. All I could find was that the budget was multiple times the budget of the director's first movie, which had a budget of $2.5 million. So, it's probably under 10 million, in the 7 million range for budget.
I think Kristen Stewart's expensive, don't you think?
Yeah, I do.
She'll be taking a good chunk of that, no doubt.
Yeah.
But rightfully so, because it's probably the reason it was on any of our radar.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, St. Maud is a great horror film, which was the director's first film. So I think it would have been on my radar, thank you.
Indie darling, baby lame. I actually haven't seen St. Maud, but I'm excited to now that I've seen this.
Very different, but a very cool film.
But also lesbian, right?
Yeah, it's got a bit of lesbian vibes to it.
Yeah. Great. Perfect.
I'm a homosexual.
This movie had a box office total of around 12 million, so it seems like a modest success. And it's in the top 40 of A24 releases. And they've released over 100 movies. So, yeah, modest success, I would say. It's not like a blockbuster, but it was never going to be. And that wasn't the point. In terms of the critical response, pretty resounding critical success, I would say. It's got a 94% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Peter Bradshaw in The Guardian gave it 5 stars. And director John Waters ranked Love Lies Bleeding first in a list of his favorite movies of 2024.
Wow.
Yeah. And he said that the hilarious, bloody film noir is the best movie of the year, one that Russ Meyer might have made if he'd been a lesbian intellectual addicted to steroids.
You're a lesbian.
Wow. Well, that surely confirms Camp Classic, no? If John Waters has decided it's his favourite film of the year, that's a huge tick, surely.
Also, Russ Meyer might have made it if he was a good director.
Meow.
Yeah. We just recently covered Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, which is a Russ Meyer movie. And yeah, it's a fucking mess, but...
Flaccid.
Yeah.
It's just flaccid. That's my term for anything that's not a camp classic now, is flaccid.
Flaccid. That's nice. I like it.
You say, Mel, I don't have to take this anymore.
There were some negative reviews as well. There's actually a different Guardian review by Benjamin Lee, which was probably when it was at the film festival circuit, and he gave it 2 stars.
He did not like it. I read that one.
Yeah, he
was
hated
on
it.
another planet to all the other reviewers, really, but yeah.
And I found Patty on Google Reviews who said, if you like gay porn, you'll enjoy this. So shallow. This is where Hollywood is not even spoon-feeding woke anymore.
Oh,
yeah.
They're injecting it straight in the ass.
Yeah.
Oh, good old Patty.
Where do you want it, Patty? In the butt.
Oh, can I have mine anally, please?
It doesn't matter what movie you Google, you can find someone complaining about it being woke. And that's the year we're in. Yeah, so that's kind of a potted summary of the context, if you will. Baby, have you got a quiz for us?
Oh, God, I'm not going to lie to you two. This has been a struggle with this quiz. And if being a camp classic, part of the criteria was to have an entertainingly interesting quiz as part of it, this film would be a huge flop. So I am not going to do a quiz. I'm just going to reel off some of the many, many boring facts I have found out and try to skew in over the last hour and a half of trying to do research of this. This is how exciting I could get. So, Kristen Stewart has pet wolves. She can juggle. She didn't like the version that she made of Charlie's Angels. She preferred Drew Barrymore's. She turned down a role in Scream 4 parodying Drew Barrymore. The biggest grossing film of 1989, which is when the film was set, was Batman. Katie O'Brien, who stars alongside Kristen Stewart, used to be a police officer. Love Lies Bleeding is actually a plant, which means hopeless love. Elton John had a double A-side single of the same name released in 1978. Flop, flop, flop. Boring, boring, boring. Kristen Stewart, Twilight, blah, 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 blah.
Great.
I really, really fucking tried. I really tried.
Oh, there was some new information in there for me.
I think that was semi-interesting.
Mm-hmm. How do we all feel about Kristen Stewart in general?
Pro.
Well, she's had an interesting narrative. I'm sure you two, from like looking at some of the research, like lots of headlines are like how Kristen Stewart became, from most hated actress ever to interesting. She's had a really fucking hard time. And actually, looking back through her filmography, she's had some fucking corkers of roles.
Oh my God.
And as an actor has shown true versatility in the kind of, I often think of her as like, playing the moody alt kind of characters, but she's been Snow White. She's done loads of different things.
Princess Di.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
No, I think she's really fucking fab, actually. Yeah.
I think she brings an on-screen energy that definitely no other current or maybe all-time Hollywood actress has done. It's so weird and kind of nervy, and it's kind of alt, but she just brings a lot to the screen that I just don't see in other actresses.
I myself am strange and unusual.
Yeah, I think she's brilliant. What was she hated basically because of going out with Robert Pattinson? Was that the core of that hatred?
Wow. That's essentially the entire narrative is based around that, yeah.
Do you think they were ever actually in a relationship, or it was just a press thing?
Oh, yeah. Weren't they?
Yeah, I think they
were. Wasn't he just her...
So.
I thought it was just a beard situation and like
they
a
were very
publicity
young.
stunt.
You're a lesbian.
I think they were together. There was lots of things about her cheating with him, with the other star of Twilight. I was never into Twilight. How about you lot? Like, it's not something that's ever interested me.
No.
Well, you say you're too old, but there are lots of older people. It's like people that watch Harry Potter.
Or just
and
like
in your
young
40s.
adults.
It's like, seriously, get a fucking grip.
No,
Stop drinking your butterbeer. Get a life.
Oh, baby is spicy tonight.
Meow.
I've actually never seen the Harry Potter films either. Like, on principle, when I was younger, because I did like the books, I was like, well, I don't need to watch the film. That's stupid. And I just stuck with it, and I never have. I never recognise anyone who's been in them either. So Twilight was not going to happen for me.
You're right. No, I've seen both series for sure. I mean, Twilight is stupid as hell, but...
I do also really like Robert Pattinson. I think he's turned into a really great actor too. Respectively, they're both quite cool and interesting, quite weird in interviews. I rate them both.
And again, has chosen some like interesting roles. Hasn't just
Totally.
played it safe. Could have really gone down a very different career path and just gone for like more generic roles. And actually, yeah, I really
Superheroes
like
and
some of the
stuff.
choices he's made. Yeah. Mm.
I just recently watched the happiest season, Kristen Stewart's like Christmas movie, queer Christmas movie, and she really actually kind of annoyed me in that because she was just doing the Kristen Stewart kind of moody alt thing, and it just didn't really. I don't know. It was kind of annoying in that context. But then I watched this, and I fucking loved her in it. I thought she was.
I mean, there's
great.
kind of a clue why that would be a terrible film. In the fact it's a Christmas movie, a queer Christmas movie. That's kind of the clue was there, I think.
To be honest, it wasn't. I mean, it was a cheesy Christmas movie, but it wasn't terrible. But you know, I'm full of the joys of the season, and baby is Mrs. Grinch over there.
Hate.
Well, let's get on to the plot of this one. So,
Quite a lot happens in this film.
quite a lot happens in
Plot-wise.
this film.
Yeah.
Yes,
Are we talking about the ending? Are we just going to go,
Yeah.
spoiler, and just go for it?
I think so.
Kind of have to.
I think we need to talk about it.
Okay.
To talk about it.
Yeah.
But so yes, spoilers abound. So, in a rural New Mexican town in 1989, reclusive gym manager Lou, played by Kristen Stewart, manages relationships with her sister Beth, Beth's husband JJ, her estranged criminal father Lou Sr., and her ex Daisy. At the gym, Lou meets Jackie, who is a bisexual bodybuilder staying in town while preparing for a bodybuilding competition in Las Vegas. Lou offers Jackie steroids to enhance her training, and though she initially refuses, Jackie agrees. Fall in love and move in together over the following weeks as Jackie uses increasingly high doses of steroids during her training.
Let's talk about, I mean, just the setup of the movie.
Yeah.
It starts in such an interesting way because they're in the gym and there's all of those kind of close-ups on like sweaty male hairy torsos and nipples, and you just get this, it's like this really like kind of grubby testosterone fueled setup, right? And then you see Jackie's character like having sex in the back of the car with that guy, and it kind of just sets up this kind of really nasty tone that is such a curveball for the rest of the movie in terms of where it's going. And I really appreciated the kind of shift from the gaze on like men at the gym and sort of moving away from that sort of straight away. I thought that was a nice way to kick things off.
Totally. Yeah, tonally and stylistically it really sets something pretty individual from the first 5 minutes. Like every single hairstyle you see in the first 5 minutes, from Kristen Stewart's to like JJ's mullet to Jackie's amazing like curls, really good.
Jackie reminds me of, do you remember in Saved by the Bell, Mario, that kind of permed, like kind of, I was like, yes, come through with your,
oh yeah,
what was his name? AJ Slater, was it that? No, what's his name?
I can't
Mario
remember.
Lopez.
Yeah, Mario Lopez, yeah. Hunky. Yeah, they do kind of, they could do a brother and sister thing. Also, like, straight off the bat, Jackie's just the most ripped woman I think I've ever seen on film.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I thought the film spent a lot of time looking at her body in a way that I found, I mean, it's obviously supposed to be, it's kind of sexualized and it's admiring and it's vaguely kind of exploitative as well. But it was just such a strange feeling. Like I remember walking out of the cinema just feeling really like buzzed to just like look at a really ripped woman for so long, and like I've never seen that kind of body in close up, artfully shown to me, kind of sexualized, and I actually found it really, kind of thrilling.
Unlocked a new kink.
You're right as well, because it's like maybe that kind of representation, like female bodybuilders, would be more of a kind of a jokey like punchline thing.
Totally.
You can imagine like some like menacing, deep, broody voiced, muscly woman, like
painted
grabbing,
orange,
and like
with
grabbing
like a bad
the hot guy in a
bikini.
film and being like, "I'm gonna take you with me," and him being like, "Oh no, low." Yeah, she's absolutely admired in the film from the get-go. Yeah.
So Jackie and Lou attend an awkward dinner with JJ and Beth. during which Lou threatens JJ over his abusive behavior towards her sister Beth. Lou tells Jackie that she wants to kill JJ because of his abuse of Beth, and Beth is the only reason Lou hasn't left town.
Mm.
The next day, Beth is hospitalized due to severe abuse inflicted by JJ. Pretty grim. So Jackie is unable to contain her rage due to her steroid use, and she breaks into Beth and JJ's home and brutally beats JJ to death.
Oops.
Oopsie.
He is a huge, huge piece of shit, though, isn't he?
Yeah, it's like, it's very, you don't mind.
You really don't mind.
Yeah.
He had to go.
Yeah, he had to go. But this is when I think that the film kind of sets the tone that it's going to be a bit gross.
Mm.
It's like getting gory.
And then she rolls him up in a rug.
Yeah, she sure does.
Which is
well, his
important.
jaw is hanging off, right?
Oh, yeah, the jaw.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I mean, if you're going to do it, you might as well carry on. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to kill someone, you might as well really kill them.
Totally. I actually heard an interview with the director, and they didn't know what was going to happen to him because they did all of the gore in post. So they just had his like face painted in red so they could do the VFX on it. And so Kristen Stewart is reacting when she walks into the room, and that's the first time you see his like chinless face.
Mm.
And it's, she only knew what she was looking at the first time she watched the movie.
Oh, wow.
And she's like, oh, I should have been much bigger. But I actually remember her reaction there, and I was like, wow, she's like, I don't know, there's something interesting about how she kind of plays it small, and I thought that was a choice. It's just interesting that she was like, actually, she didn't know what she was supposed to be reacting to.
Yeah, well, maybe the implication is also that like she has dealt with some weird shit many times in her life because her dad is a freak and some kind of local, well, like the local crime kingpin, right?
Yeah.
And he's obviously brought her on to previous jobs because she seems to know all about the local dumping grounds and so on. So you get the impression that she's actually seen a lot of really dark stuff, and ultimately she's the one, I think, who has the kind of tough core necessary to get to the end of the film, you know?
Totally. This is not her first jawless body.
No.
So Lou discovers JJ's body and fears that Jackie will be arrested, so plots to frame her father, Lou Sr., for the murder. With Jackie's help, Lou drives JJ's car and body into a ravine, revealed to be a disposal site for the bodies of Lou Sr.'s various criminal enemies.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we start to understand, that maybe Lou's gotten involvement with it all. They light the car on fire, creating a massive smoke plume that successfully attracts authorities to the site the following morning. Becoming more and more erratic due to steroid use, Jackie leaves Lou and hitchhikes to Las Vegas for the bodybuilding competition. During her individual routine, Jackie hallucinates vomiting up a fully grown Lou. And this was another one of the moments in the movie where I was like, oh, maybe it's this kind of movie. It felt like it really did keep me guessing.
Mm.
It felt like it was kind of defying genre a bit. Like I was like, am I watching like a noir? Is it a thriller? Is it absurd? Is it a body horror? And then she vomits up Kristen Stewart. You're like, okay, maybe it's everything.
You know, the music is by, or the actual score, because there's loads of music in the film generally, right? There's loads of cool 80s music, like synthy, slightly like Drive-esque music. But this score is by Clint Mansell, who, among various things, he did the movie Moon, which I really, really like. But he's also worked on loads of Darren Aronofsky films, including Black Swan. And there's a definite like Black Swan body horror element to this, I think. You know, the kind of element of like performance driving you crazy and your kind of inner turmoil showing itself in your body.
Physically.
And somehow that kind of like brooding electronic score seems to work really well for that, I think.
Totally. I got so excited by the song. Did you catch Nice Mover? Do you know that song? By Gina X Performance? Oh my god, it's so good.
I'm your transformer, call me Marlin, call me Gino, that's me or no.
I don't know. Wait, where was that? Was that the what song does she do the performance to? I couldn't.
It was before that. It might have been a sex scene, or maybe maybe it's even earlier, and maybe Kristen Stewart's watching her in the gym.
Yeah.
But it's such a good song, and it's like quite a deep cut 80s song as well. It's just like
they're quite niche, aren't they? The songs, really.
Yeah. Well, again, I was listening to the director, and she was like, I just really wanted to avoid cliches because like the 80s musically has been covered so much. So yeah, the sound guy found some like interesting stuff.
Yeah, I also thought because the movie Civil War came out only a couple of months later, also an A24 film, and that song, that movie ends with Dream Baby Dream by Suicide, and there's like a Martin Rev basically suicide song in this as well. And they're like, they're not that famous a band, and I thought it was kind of, I don't know, just kind of peak A24 to drop in such a like cool punk song in their two kind of latest movies. But yeah, I mean, the score is really, really good.
It's very like, so that a few people in the audience can be like, I know this song.
100%.
And that's why I'm not talking, because I have no fucking clue what the song is. Give me a bit of Tiffany or something. I think we're alone now. Slow it down and do a remix. I mean, for soundtrack alone, it's losing camp points. I will give it that. It's a great soundtrack.
Do you think?
It's not very camp. Yeah, it's not a
Too
camp
cool.
soundtrack.
Yeah, it is quite cool.
But I love that about A24, but sometimes it is like, oh, come on now. Yeah, we get it. It's a cool film.
Yeah, the director, Rose Glass, she was saying that she liked the idea of Kristen Stewart being like a bit of a music snob. And like, so a lot of the music that you're hearing is supposed to be like her music taste.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, where are we? So
at some point around here, they kind of start on separate plots, don't they? Because Kristen Stewart's doing something over here, and Jackie's doing her bodybuilding thing.
That's right.
Which I think at that point it starts to get a little bit like confusing for me, because it's very exciting when they're together, but then they're trying to kind of it's like Kristen Stewart Lou is trying to kind of clean up Jackie's mess basically as she goes along. But there's a lot happening at that point. I definitely, there were moments there where I think I slightly lost the thread, and I'm finding it slightly hard to remember now.
Yeah. Well, so Jackie assaults a contestant at the bodybuilding competition and ends up contacting Lou Sr. to bail her out of jail.
Oh yeah, because Lou Sr. is also her boss at the gun range where she's got like a temporary job. Yeah.
And yeah, the meanwhile that's happening is that Lou gets blackmailed by her ex, Daisy, into a relationship. So Daisy is a fab character. She's...
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She's a freak.
Yeah, total freak. Really gross in a fun way. Obsessive ex of Lou's.
Yeah, and she seems completely ditzy, doesn't she? And then she turns out to actually be the one person who unfortunately has put two and two together and becomes a problem. Yeah,
she becomes a problem. So Lou Sr. coerces Jackie to kill Daisy, who, as you say, is the sole witness to JJ's murder. Stick with us if you can. So after shooting Daisy at Lou's apartment, Jackie returns to Lou Sr. to be knocked unconscious. Lou drives to her father's home to rescue Jackie. Lou finds and frees Jackie, but as they try to escape, Lou Sr. shoots Lou in the leg. At which point, Jackie, having grown to a gigantic size due to steroid use, pins down Lou Sr., and they kind of incapacitate him and leave him for the police.
Really gigantic, though.
Yeah.
The most gigantic.
Yeah. A giantess, if you will.
Yes, if you like that kind of thing.
I want myself.
Do you remember the reaction in the cinema at that kind of bonkers final scene?
There weren't many people in the cinema, so I know it's a really divisive moment with the giant bit, but it wasn't something there where it was like people were laughing or How about you when you saw it in the cinema?
People were laughing, and I could definitely tell. And when people were kind of talking about it going out, that it lost a few people for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, definitely. I could tell. And this is Hackney Picture House, very, very friendly crowd to this kind of thing. But I could tell that people thought like, what the fuck? Like, that doesn't, that doesn't add up. And I think in general, when I've been looking through, user reviews online, that's the thing that has produced kind of random like 1-star reviews where they just think, well, that's crazy, that doesn't make any sense. It's like, you either don't like it because you can't really cope with there being an unexpected like fantasy element, or perhaps you don't like it because of, like, I noticed some of the more sniffy reviewers saying, like the critics saying, oh, well, there's not enough character development or something like that, but yeah, I could tell that it lost a few people. I really, really liked it because somehow it kind of, it just made me, I felt so confident in what Rose Glass was doing as a director. Like, the whole thing is done so smoothly, it's so well put together. The scenes, the little details like the lighting, the music, all of that stuff. I was just really convinced by so much of it, and so then I was just really impressed that she'd taken like a completely like ridiculous risk at the end and done something that was like fantastical. To me, that really elevated it as being something really memorable and bold, rather than just like a kind of noirish, like Breaking Bad, lesbian gun movie. It was way more than that, I think, because of that scene for me.
And that's something Rose did in Saint Maud as well, because at the end of that film, it's all about someone believing they're a saint, and at the end of it, you have this scene where you're not sure as a viewer whether all along she was a saint and something's happening, or if she's losing her mind. But again, it's a real sort of switch into something. It's a really big statement at the end of the film as well. So I appreciated that. I think for me, what I loved about the sort of fantasy element was, from the get-go, I was watching the film and I enjoyed it, and I love like a dirty, grimy A24 film. I love like a neo-noir. I love the sort of the sexual tension. I love the violence. I was in. But I was like, ugh, I know where this is heading.
Totally.
Because I've been taught this in all queer film, that this couple are going to get torn apart. One of them is going to get killed. And I just was like, the doom of watching it, I was like, one of them's going to die, because that's what happens in these kind of films. So then to have their love like being so fucking huge, and their connection, and the fact she grows because she's so connected to Kristen Stewart's character, and that's what makes her become even more giant, and then that they're running into their sort of future as giants, and it's like, fuck everybody, with all of this endless possibility. I was like really like touched by it. I found it like incredibly powerful, and I'm kind of like, people that are like, oh, it doesn't make sense, it's not real. It's like, get a grip, it's a film. Get creative. Have like more poetic notions happening in films. Not everything has to be realism. Like, it's a genre, we should be pushing forward things. And for me it was just like a really like powerful way of showing a queer relationship, and like a metaphor. I don't know if I believe she actually was a giant. I think maybe we were. I think I was just watching like a visualization of it, of their love. And I think because there's that shot where you see from the dad's view him looking upwards, and it's almost like she's not a giant there. It's almost like she's just closer to the camera. But it doesn't matter to me if she was or she wasn't. I just think it was a really brave thing to do. And I think for me, I just thought it was like it really sort of stamped it as being a good film to me, that ending. It made it something exciting.
Two quick points on that, if I may. One is that I do think that looking back, there's a lot of foreshadowing of the fantastical ending, because the steroid use, the kind of shots of what's happening to her body, do seem to suggest a kind of Hulk-like, a fast growth. And it's really accentuated by the weird sounds as well. Like, you can almost like hear her muscles kind of ripping and growing with this like slightly unnatural Foley sound. And
it's been a big year for squelch sound effects.
Well, we should come on to that in a second. The other thing is, what it actually really reminded me of is the Robert Eggers film The Witch, which I absolutely love. It's about like Puritans in 17th century America thinking that there is a witch in their, little village of sort of starving pilgrims. And the final scene is basically like a confirmation, sorry, spoilers, that they are witches. They really, really were. Like, there they are in the forest floating around. And loads of people fucking hated that scene and were just like, well, that just ruins everything because it's too, like, it's unrealistic and it kind of like makes a mockery of all the other suspense or whatever. But I loved it. And I just think allowing a director to just go there for some reason, that just really pleases me.
Yeah.
And you think as well, like, we talk so much about, like, in other films about, like, oh, there was a different ending originally because this test audience or the, you know, the producers looking at the film didn't quite get it. And I was sort of thinking, God, imagine if this film was made in the 90s and, like, Demi Moore, pre-Substance Demi Moore, was on this. And you could imagine it being, like, a bit like striptease mixed with G.I. Jane. So it's like, oh, she's got such a fit, sexy body, but she's still really sexy and still hyper feminine. And you could just imagine, like, it just becoming a whole load of trash, couldn't you? And I love that thing as well, because, like, I'm sure if this ending was really tested, maybe it was, you know, I'm sure they would have just, you know, cut it short and just done something a bit more normal with it. But
I think that's the beauty of, like, an indie film, is that it's not too big to fail, so it doesn't need to play it safe, and it can. This is probably the thing that got the movie made, if anything. I can imagine this as a pitch, and like, it is a great hook. It is quite shticky. It's a kind of thing that makes people talk, but I also think it was incredibly effective and successful, which is kind of a neat trick to pull off, where you're like, this is quite silly and schlocky, but also really, really cool and great. And I remember I was writing in my notes, I'm like, I love this movie. I'm not sure how camp it is. And then that happened. I was like, okay.
It's weird though, isn't it? It's weird that, like, because I like, although it technically is, I didn't find it schlocky. I was really moved by it. Just an interesting. I didn't find it campy. I just thought it was like a really beautiful, aspirational way of looking at a relationship, and I was really touched by it.
Do you
I
think
just think it's
that
because it's like a
Do you think that the line between it being like a cool neo-noir and a camp classic might be in Ed Harris's wig, though? Because it's so unnecessary. Yeah. He just doesn't need to look like that, and they've just made him look crazy. And the Beatles,
the bugs. Why? And the Beatles. Yeah, it's very cartoon villain.
It is a bit.
Yeah.
Should we talk about why Love Lies Bleeding is the same film as The Substance?
Sure. Yeah. I said to you on a dance floor on New Year's Day, didn't I, Chal? I'm like, they're very similar. I feel like we're in, like, a bit of a genre period for movies like this. And then you said, but 3 makes a trend. And so then I was thinking about it. And then I thought about my third favorite movie of the year, which is Poor Things. And I actually I think that also exists in the same kind of universe in a weird way. There's something happening right now about, like...
yes, because she's like a Frankenstein's monster in some ways. Yeah.
Yeah, which is the same as Jackie, really. In this movie.
Yeah, they're all artificially produced womanhood in different ways.
Yeah, and really talking about it. I mean, at the very surface level, which I can't even believe I'm going to say this, it's like strong female characters.
Strong female characters! Yes!
But, like, no, there is something very, like, it's like this kind of, playing with the artificial. And then the squelch sound effects. I mean, The Substance and this movie exist in the same, at least audio universe, where everything that happens has a sound effect.
Yes. Yeah, and really exaggerated sound effects.
A wet sound effect.
Scratchy, ASMR, and you can hear bodies being distorted and growing and breaking. There's obviously this main theme of, like, injecting this substance that ends up causing not only physical changes but kind of causes, like, violence and chaos. There's like the final act of this crazy kind of terrifying body horror transformation. There's obviously just the sense of there being two women like locked in a kind of strange, like, a relationship that's not that's kind of a love and hate relationship, I guess.
Yeah, and apparently an early version of the script had Lou as a drug dealer, and it was going to be more of a magical potion, and it was going to be glowing. So it would have been...
no.
Yeah, so it would have been very, like,
Wow.
the parallel would have been really on the nose, which is very strange.
Well, let's not forget the substance didn't walk without Death Becomes Her being the
Yeah.
origin source of all of this one, please. We can't.
Yeah, absolutely.
The erasure of Death Becomes Her cannot happen.
It's just interesting that they're both happening in the same year.
Now a warning?
But something I did find that was, I'm sort of saying about, oh, great, new ways of queer storytelling, blah, blah, blah. One of the campus things about this was they weren't afraid to go away from the old trope of lesbian relationships moving straight in with each other straight away. It was like, clingy lesbians. I made you breakfast. We just had sex. Want to move in together? Let's spend the rest of our lives together. It's like, yeah, I appreciated that. Is this just a fact now rather than a cliche? Is it just something we have to accept as a fact?
I thought it was also interesting to see the kind of like gender relations between the two of them, or the kind of like masc femme relations between the two of them, because, Jackie is obviously huge, but she's kind of this like emotional, like out of control hose pipe, like even without the steroids, she's obviously kind of an all over the place person, and it comes from some slightly unexplained broken background. Maybe she's been kicked out for being bisexual or something like that.
She's
Whereas
very innocent
Lou
and soft, isn't she?
She's very innocent. Yeah, she's very very soft and kind of smiley, charismatic.
Yeah.
Doesn't know her own power in a way. Whereas Lou is like steely, she's kind of the man, basically. Like that, she fulfills that role in the film in many ways.
I thought the sex was really interesting. I haven't seen lesbian sex done like that very often before.
Yep.
And I gotta say, it was a lot of lesbian sex to watch on a plane. And I was just thinking, thank God I'm just like, thank God I look like a fag, because no one's gonna think I'm getting off on this. You just feel so pervy.
I do think another thing that's interesting about this film, because obviously so much of it is based around this queer relationship, but I really enjoyed the fact that the town where this was based, despite it being rough and in the 80s, they kind of just decided to stay away from like the homophobia storylines, like kind of portraying hatred and danger around that, and that was refreshing as well. Because we've seen that story played out so many times. So again, it was just like a fresh way of looking at a relationship, and that's not the forefront of it. It's like when you see a cis male relationship portrayed in the 80s, it's always about AIDS. It's always about AIDS, and it's again, I just enjoyed the fact that I'm like, we're just seeing slightly different representation, and it's like, oh, thank fuck, yes.
You're so right, because Jackie asks Lou, like, why don't you talk to your father? Is it because you're gay? And Lou's like, oh no, he doesn't care about that.
Yeah.
He's just a murderer.
Yeah.
I seem to remember that JJ maybe is kind of homophobic towards them, but just, I don't know, maybe just, or just he just hates her. I don't know. It's not a plot line, really.
Yeah. It's not like an adversity they need to overcome.
Nope.
Yeah.
No. She's safe in the gym.
Yeah. I guess there's a tiny bit of it as well at the very beginning, where that guy comes on to her.
Yes.
But then she punches him out.
It's fine.
Yeah.
She deals with it.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, these women don't give a shit. There isn't a shame storyline to overcome. Yeah, really cool. Really, really cool. You mentioned this briefly, Chal, but yeah, like Jackie's kind of unexplained past. I do kind of agree with some of the reviews that I read that maybe her character was a little underwritten. Yeah. There's that moment where she calls someone and they're like, never call this number again. And I don't know. It kind of it
That was her like sibling though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's vaguely left like she's like this because blah 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 trauma.
Or maybe her rage isn't entirely roid related. Maybe she is violent. Maybe she has had violent outbursts in her own family.
Yeah.
Maybe also the unexplained nature of it is fine and useful for the film in some ways. And I don't think it's necessary for all characters to be incredibly well developed in order for a film to work, and especially not in a kind of, again, like a neo-noir, a kind of genre piece. Like, characters are allowed to be to fit certain roles, to be almost, ciphers for certain ideas or just characteristics. It's not totally essential, I think. And I do feel like because of the two actresses' like fundamental physicality and their kind of chemistry with each other, I didn't feel like I didn't know very much about them. I kind of felt quite connected to them, but not necessarily because I knew lots about their lives, just because I felt like I understood their personality, and I thought that was enough for me.
I see that.
I think I'm one of these annoying people. I really like connecting the dots myself. Like one of my favorite, I love like kind of a moody indie drama that kind of ends like midway, with like no kind of realized, the kind of films where people are like, for fuck's sake, what did that mean? Why the fuck was I here?
Yeah.
I kind of get off on those where there's no kind of like clear meaning, and I'm like, yeah, part of me just likes those like, oh, I'm gonna just build. I think it's really fun with watching films where you can build some of your own thoughts into why they've done stuff, and you can kind of create your own stories with it. So I think for me, I'm like, yeah, I don't feel like, I didn't feel like it was underwritten. I thought it was just a very stylized film that sort of didn't need more.
Yeah. I think it's quite cool that also these characters are just quite bad.
Yes.
Like you're rooting for them, but neither of them are good people. But you're still like really invested in them getting together, getting away, making a new life, etc., etc.
That's kind of the next step with the strong female character trope as well, isn't it? It's like, okay, so we've had some strong female characters now, but what if the strong female characters also had flaws and were kind of normal and therefore more interesting? Like those are the kind of characters that I want to see more of on screen.
Yeah, women's rights and women's wrongs, as they say. I found this quote from Kristen Stewart that said, I guess, like, in your dreams, you don't always do the right thing. And in movies, somehow girls are kind of expected to make everyone feel really comfortable. I think that's a very default setting for women in general. And in this case, it was like, yeah, but what if I'm expletive? I don't know what she said. What if I'm a shithead, maybe? And my rage is boiling out and bubbling over. And it also really turns me on to share that with another person. Yeah, cool. Really cool. And I mean, the last shot is her like actually finishing off Daisy and burying her. Like she strangles her, and then has to bury her in the desert. So, like, these are bad people that I'm like, oh,
and another
that's cute that you have to bury.
That's such a funny, darkly twisted thing.
Yeah.
I mean, is she really dead? She's like been fucking shot and had her blood drained. I don't know if it's like a kind of a metaphor or something. I don't believe she was really alive, but
really?
Just a fun. Yeah, I don't know. She was so shot, and she like for quite a long amount of time, and she was probably bled to death. Yeah. I don't think she was alive, but I think it's that kind of fantastical element of playing with the idea of stuff. But again, like with the ending, like the metaphor for me, it's just like, oh, finally I've got a good thing now. I'm not going to let anything fucking get in the way, even if that means I'm just going to kill people. I'm going to be a bit greedy now. I've got a loving relationship. So if that means, I just thought it was a silly additional. But again, it's sort of stamping, oh, we aren't cookie cutter, like lovable women. It's like, there's a more complex situation going on.
Thelma and Louise.
Yes.
Do we want to talk about gaining? Growing fetish?
Oh, yeah.
I want myself.
Macrophilia. Which I found out about today is that's the technical term for loving a giant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's interesting that this is like the fetish for giant women is like such a like straight cis man thing, isn't it?
I'm not sure how much that makes sense from a lesbian perspective. Like,
yeah, but that's also what I found so fun and refreshing about it. And I wonder, I don't know, I've never heard about that from a lesbian perspective. I don't know if you're a lesbian and you're listening, let us know. Do you know people with giant fetishes? But I think it was really cool to see that twisted and subverted.
I think a lot of people like being squashed. I don't think it's like, I'm not surprised. That's a normal desire, no?
I want myself.
Well, gaining is obviously such a queer thing. Like, I've only ever heard about that between gay men, but it's...
Does that make it queer, or is that...
Well, no, I don't know. But again, it was neat to see that portrayed in a lesbian relationship. And yeah, just like muscle worship as well is something that is typically associated with gay men, and again, seeing that flipped, it's just that was all very fresh for me.
Yeah, I think it's probably like a revelation in the mainstream that like a lot of maybe even particularly older queer women would say was like, you know, entirely known and normal if you were a lesbian, but like you don't get to see it. I thought it was interesting as a comparison with, again, The Substance, because we spend so much time looking at Margaret Qualley's body, don't we? And really lingering in a way that's like really makes you question what that shot is, what all of those shots are for. Like they're almost pornographic, they're exploitative, they're kind of, you know, body worshipping. She has like a perfect body, so perfect that she has like fake boobs in the film to make her just perfect. And she is, you know, she is the heterosexual idea of perfection as well. And I think, like I say, the amount of time the camera spends on Katie O'Brien's completely real muscles does a similar job, but with such a different effect. I mean, obviously I find her incredibly attractive, and I think the muscles are incredibly cool, but it just felt like such a surprise to just see muscles portrayed in that way as being actually not gross. Even though she's kind of the film's monster, she's not gross. She's just really, really hot the whole time, you know. And even when she's doing her bodybuilding routine, which is like such an uncool thing to do, you know, that it's a ridiculous looking, you know, pastime / performance. It's all really silly.
I don't know.
I'd totally buy her.
I'd book that, Chow. I'd book it. I'd book that. I want to see that show. I thought it was fab.
But would you? The poses, but I mean, but you might book it as like a show for like cabaret, right? But the idea of it being just like a competition that's taken really seriously, it is a fine line, isn't it? Like it's a strange.
Oh yeah, like no, but
hobby.
I just thought that sequence was fabulous.
Stunning.
I just thought like
stunning. She's great at it. But yeah, just so refreshing to see that. But again, weirdly similar to the kind of aerobics stuff in The Substance.
Yeah, that's a really interesting kind of mirror, isn't it? Like how you change something about that character. They're equally kind of sexualized and sexual, but I don't know, one is queerer, it's more interesting, it's more fresh. I think probably as well if you swap the genders of the characters in this, like if this was a movie about gay men, it wouldn't be a fraction of as subversive, obviously, and it might even be bordering on like upholding kind of problematic beauty stereotypes if it was a gay man who was like super ripped and buff and being worshipped. I wouldn't have resonated with me nearly as much.
Yep. I've got through a lot of my notes here, by the way.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's kind of an interesting one because I don't really have a lot of criticism. One thing I enjoyed was that apparently the director made the cast watch Showgirls before they started filming.
Really?
To be like, I need you to understand the tone.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean,
if only the cast of Showgirls could have seen Showgirls in order to understand the tone. Wow.
Yeah.
But it's not really like that, though, is it? I don't think. It's not.
It's not, no. But apparently Kristen Stewart was
there's an intensity to their performances that I believe exists in Showgirls. There's a sort of a belief and a drive that there's a similar dynamic between Nomi and Crystal. Like, although it's like a campier text, there's this like obsessive, passionate I mean, we're talking about Showgirls, and I'm gonna, I'm on the defense already, so I'm like, let's be careful, please.
Kristen Stewart apparently said she'd never seen Showgirls before, and she watched it and she was like, oh, I need to be thrusting way harder.
Yep.
Very good. Very good.
I also just think as well, let's talk camp as well, because it is a great film. But like in terms of like iconography, these are Halloween costumes. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you want to dress up as one of them, or as the dad for a Halloween costume. It's got
you could do the dad. You could definitely do the dad wig, couldn't you? That's easy. Could you do Kristen Stewart though?
Well, you'd have to do a couple's look.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, but you could also, if you're not one for dressing up and you just kind of just want to be a version of yourself,
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny because earlier, like Crystal said about how all that 80s hair, Kristen Stewart was not giving me 80s, she was just giving me Kristen Stewart. Like,
Yeah, totally.
like,
just what
hey,
she
I
looks
just
like.
rocked up on set. This is what I'm gonna wear. This is what I always
My hair
wear.
is greasy. Sorry about it. No, I will not be washing it for this movie.
I like though I think you could do the Jackie's like super tiny hot pants and vest combo, and that kind of pastel bomber jacket.
Yeah,
that's kind of recognizable, I think.
Yeah,
yeah. I think,
or
I think it holds
if you're
itself
ripped
there.
and you just wear the little black bikini.
It doesn't really work if you're not ripped, though, right?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
a muscle suit.
But also, I am glad this film wasn't made in the 90s, because you could totally imagine some gym bro for a lull dressing up as Jackie. Do you know what I mean? With like a ripped body and being like, oh yeah. You could imagine that. Ugh.
That's probably happened.
It's like straight guys doing their version of drag at Halloween. Oh, kill me now, please.
So true.
I think just one more thing I'd like to point about. I'm kind of swept up in the fantasy and the romance of all of this film, even though it's probably not deemed. But again, even like the way the stars are projected right at the top of the first scene that you see, it's kind of this magical starlight sky, and it sets the tone for like star-crossed lovers, and there's some magic in the air. I'm completely down for all of that, and I think it's a kind of another way that we're sort of a slightly fantastical world that we're going into, rather than it being like, oh, this is a gritty real life film that we're about to watch. I think there's just elements like that that just make it seem a bit more magical to me, which I like.
Well, should we rate it?
Let's rate it.
Let's rate it. So, using our patented Campometer, we need to give this movie 1 to 10 Merrills.
Bon appetit!
For the quality of the movie, and 1 to 10 Lizas.
You tell that to Debbie Reynolds!
For the camp factor. So let's start with Merrills. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I would like to give this film a 9 out of 10 Merrills. Yeah.
Merrills.
I appreciate queer storytelling that's innovative, and I appreciate different representation on screen. And then if we take away that kind of queer storytelling, I think it's a beautiful film. I think it looks fantastic. I think it's exciting. Yeah, 9 out of 10 for me.
I think I would give it 8 Merrills. Still a lot. It just works. It looks great. It sounds great. It's really slickly done. Acting's great. I don't think it's like I don't think it's entirely groundbreaking, but I do think it's really well done. So 8.
Yeah, I'm going to score it high as well. I think this is a kind of classic structure for a neo-noir movie that because of the way it flips things in terms of gender and sexuality and even just bodybuilding, I don't know, it gives it such a fresh twist that it takes it from something we've seen before to something that was really delightful and exciting. I'm going to give it 9 Merrills as well.
Groundbreaking.
Okay, but how about Liza's? I think this one's trickier. So, how camp is this movie?
Well, what I've written in my notes is I've written in capital letters, "New Era of Camp?" , which is where I sit with this, because I was sort of thinking, oh, but there's not like the kind of the campy, like a death becomes a moment or a bitchy line. Like, it's not a particularly quotable film. But when I sort of go through our list of like unlocking queer joy, it unlocked so much queer joy for me. I feel like it has the potential to have an ongoing legacy. I think, I believe people will rediscover this movie in years to come. I think it has potential to inform queer culture as well. And there's something that's just a slightly anti-mainstream with it. But so for me, I think this is a camp film. I just don't think it's like a comedy camp film, if that makes sense. I don't think there were cheap laughs there, and I don't think it's the funny side of camp. But I do think it is subverting things enough that it impacts itself as camp. So that I go back to what I put in capitals: New Era of Camp. It's a fresh new start of what camp is. So I don't really understand. So for that, I'm going to give it 9, but I don't think I can fully justify why. I just think it's a new era of camp, people.
I see that. I think that's really interesting. Yeah, because where I went into it with before we started recording was that it was too good to be camp, and it, even though it knew what it was doing when it was being absurd, it was still doing it with such like taste and quality and knowingness that I was like, it was kind of missing that stupid, I guess. But I totally hear what you're saying, and like maybe that's just part of the beauty of this, like, the lesbian renaissance that we're experiencing right now, but also just in general, like the explosive power of queer film. And
the more
maybe
sorry to intercut. I think the more I think about it when we do this podcast, for me, camp is like a feeling, and I know it's great to give it the rating so we can all kind of sort of understand it, but I just feel like certain films just sing to me in a different way, and this gave me that little sing song.
I would add as well that I do remember laughing quite a lot. Like, it is funny, and it's not necessarily big haha moments, but there are certain elements, particularly about the way that they're getting in too deep with this quite ridiculous crime caper, and there are kind of shock moments, and consistently having to find new rugs to roll people up in, and obviously Ed Harris with his Beatles and his hair and everything. I do think there are lots of moments where I was laughing and people around me were laughing, but not because it was necessarily comic, but the small moments of humour and black humour did, speak to me. So yeah, I think, like you say, it's not stupid. It's not even that over the top, weirdly, even though it obviously is quite over the top. I think it seems camp, but I'm not sure about a 9, but maybe I would go like a 7. And I think maybe that's partly just because of the sense of how rare it is to see those types of characters and that body on screen. And so, I said I didn't think it was particularly groundbreaking, but of course, in one major way, that is quite groundbreaking, isn't it? That is like a very like hot, muscly lesbian being given that huge, role and so much space. Yeah. I'm going to say, did I say 6? 6. No, 7. What did I say?
You're just
7, yeah, 7.
knocking it
7, 7, 7.
Just
Sorry.
give it a 3, why don't
No,
you?
no. 7. Let's go 9 for Meryl's, 7 for Liza's.
Nice. And I think, baby, you've talked me up. I think I was going in at this somewhere in the 6 mark, but I think you've talked me up, and I'm going to give it an 8 for Liza's.
Wow. Is this...
It's a new era of camp, people.
Is this
it's
the
a
highest... Is this the most Meryl's and Liza's that any film has got yet?
No, this is not our top movie. I think that was Death Becomes Her. But
okay. That'll be hard to beat then.
Yeah, exactly. But let me just average that out. So we've got an average of 9 Meryl's and 8 Liza's. Very, very good.
Strong.
Oh, that's excellent work. Excellent work. From the world's most hated woman in Hollywood. Well done.
And we can officially certify Love Lies Bleeding a camp classic.
You right now?
Woohoo!
Good work.
That makes me really happy, actually.
Add a squelch. Add a big squelch. A big muscly squelch.
Yeah. Nice.
I want muscles.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be playing throughout this episode. I'm sorry to everyone. Cool. Thank you so much. I'm really glad we got to talk about that movie. Chal, where can people find and follow you, and what else are you working on?
You can find me on Instagram, which is Chal_Ravens. You can find my podcast, No Tags, which is about underground music culture in all the usual podcast places. You're listening to a podcast now, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. And you know what? I've left Twitter. I've left X. It's over for me. So you cannot find me there.
Well done.
But you should go check out Chal's long read about ABBA.
Oh, yes. Please read my long read about ABBA in the current issue of the London Review of Books.
It's really great. And in the meantime, go give...
What about me? You were going to ask me and then you hesitated.
Where are you,
You
baby?
can find me injecting steroids anally. Yes, I'm going via the rectum because I want to get bulky for this spring. Watch out, Katie O'Brien.
And while Baby's working on that, please go follow us on Camp Classics Podcast. And we'll be back in 2 more weeks with another Camp Classic.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Classic.
He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
No more hangers!
You thought you'd become a prostitute or a drug addict.
I used to love Doggy Chow.
I used to love Doggy Chow too.